What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Police and Pips Lobby here at TradeCaster.com. Trading live as always, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 11 Central Time. We are opening on these overnight highs. Every tick up is an overnight high. You can see this kind of pushing up into that 41 level. I want to see the S&Ps kind of hit off on that 54.09 quarters, and then we can possibly get that rejection there and trade it on this chart here. So let's see what we can get here. I think that with that PPI number coming out the way that is, and then CPI tomorrow, I don't know if we're going to trend. Like I said, that trend is not necessarily going to come prior to that CPI number. So yesterday we did come inside, right? Everything was just inside type day. We had that same deal. We opened on highs and rotated down, except we never got to the overnight high, so we weren't able to take that short. This long here and this short here were all pretty clean moves, but everything kind of just fizzled out throughout the day, and then you could see closed the day very, very flat. Overnight was super, super flat, pushing up only at 2 a.m.-ish all the way into there, creating that first overnight high. We had sellers at 800 there. We started to kind of creep back up from 860, 850, the 850 level that we were kind of playing with yesterday. And now we are back to these, we're pushing over this structure level. I'm going to call this the overnight high, although everything that we're making right now is the overnight high. Still, I do want to see manipulation up here, and then a failure of this level kind of gives you that flush breakdown, especially if the S&Ps can catch up to the high side. So let's watch that. I'm going to see if we can just catch that quick short. there's a chance that if we do catch something kind of quick on the open today, that I'm going to not stay on till 11. Today is the day before the first day of school, so might go do something with the kids before, tomorrow is their day to get back into the swing of things. So there is that. This is falling off the pillow here. So we got about 3 minutes here till the open. Hopefully we could kind of hold up here until S&P's kind of pushes up. Maybe S&P's will give us that initial pop on the open, get up to 54.09 quarters, and then we can get this thing to rotate back down through. But we need to see that on the open. I don't want to take it now because that could trap us in here and then shoot us long. Microsoft selling off and NVIDIA. Microsoft selling off from 409.86, which is a key area. And then NVIDIA, you can see Microsoft here selling off from that 409.86. Pre-market highs are just above that at 410. And then you can see over here NVIDIA selling off in the middle of nowhere, kind of. There's not much to the left. We never quite made it to 113. 113.35 is the high. 111.09 is the level that we were talking about yesterday. You can see that ignition point in the pre-market. We are coming back down through that level right now, which is nice, but maybe we get another little, push up here, use this as support, and then rally up. Hopefully we can get that to happen here just prior to the open or just on the open, get up into that 40s, 50s again. I'm going to check and see if we have anything on the on the Delta, on the order book. Up overhead at 46, we have a 34 lot that comes and goes. There's a 77 lot at 50, so that one kind of sitting there. So 77 contracts at 18,850. 850 is right here. So let's see if we can get pushed up into that 850, see if that's going to kind of drag us up and then get this going. So we do have about 30 seconds to the open. Could want to push into that on the open. You can see price kind of starting to do a little bit of a dance here, sitting on top of the value area from pre-market, overnight. All right, let's get this going. Let's see if we can get up over this. This 47 level is the level I want to get swept and to pump down from. I can eyeball that 25 level. I could eyeball this 47. We're kind of justified in either one of those if we want to be a little more aggressive at the sweep of 50 and then fail it to the downside. There's the pressure to the high side there. I don't know if we're going to get to 50, but let's let this opening range kind of dance around a bit. S&Ps can push up to 54.09 quarters, could help us get up to that 50 level, and then we could fail, rotate down. Microsoft pushing up over 410, kind of dancing around that consolidation. NVIDIA still selling. And now just cut a little bit of a bid at 112. All right. Get this minute to pop us up. Want to time it better today. The last few days have been great call outs, but just terrible timing. So let's see if we can get a good first trade of the day here, and then that's that. So if we can get up over 50, that should sweep that liquidity that's sitting there. It's still sitting there at 50. Pretty decent size. So if that sweeps that, then we should be able to come back down, fail this. If that 54.09 gets tagged, that'd be nice to help us out here as we get up to 50. Never quite made it to 50. I'm not going to take this first short through. I think the timing is wrong. If this doesn't get to that 54.09, right? If we get up over 50, then yes, that's nice. But we have our opening range now here. So basically it's going to be an opening range breakdown plus the breakdown of the overnight high. All right, good push to 50. There we go. I would stop sell this through here, through the 25 level now. That's swept 50. If you break 50 with that many contracts, you can see 50, 16, 7, 11. A lot of the whole contract size filled there. Lots of contracts getting filled there. If it doesn't explode out of there, then you expect that failed breakout, rotate down. Microsoft is creeping up. 412. If we have 412 overhead, which is interesting level. If Microsoft does get up to 412, then I believe sellers step in there. NVIDIA has up to 113.70 currently to work with. So. This 18,850, you saw that was a very important level. There was a lot of size that got filled there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9. 100 plus orders kind of that got filled right here. So kind of note that 18 850. So this is why I drew this arrow up there. I wanted to see S&Ps get to this level and fail it when we got into that level here. So now that we have, this could be that kind of setup where we can fail that level, that 850, and push up into that 880 and then rotate back down. If Microsoft could get to 412 before we start to sell, then potentially that does rotate us down. And we do have 18.9 right here. And then, as I mentioned, 19,000 could be high of the week if CPI does give us a good print. I don't think we get there before CPI, but there's a chance. You never know. With the way the market kind of goes, just kind of anticipate the type of day you're going to have, and then you're going to be able to make better choices kind of moving forward. If we can get S&Ps to kind of start to fail this now, it'd be nice. But Microsoft's still creeping straight up. NVIDIA is just dancing around like in a little bit of a wedge pattern type, middle of the range. I like the 850 failure. However, I'm not going to take that. I'm going to give it more confirmation down below this breakout point. I think that would be a good spot to take that short. It could be reactive, but the overnight, technically the overnight high would be this 18,846. I want to see that now there. That's good. If it's going to continue straight to the upside, NVIDIA is turning. Microsoft just burned right through 412 and is in that value zone right here that I like to look at for Microsoft. So if Microsoft continues straight on up, which I don't think is going to happen, but if it does, then this market continues to go straight up. You can see NVIDIA trying now to catch up as well. Maybe NVIDIA wants to get there. That was a nice ignition point there, seeing that that order on the book at 18,850. So that's a good breakout so far. Not saying that it's going to be confirmed or anything like that. We got through 18,840, and then my next overhead is 18,979, 18,9. 18.9 is a strong level of, just a normal number. The selling point was 18.9 prior. 839 would be the failure point, which is 40. Just patience, letting this thing go. If it's going to just run up the rest of the day, then we're not going to have an entry. We're not going to have a trade. But like I said, I do feel like this 50 level should have been explosive. Microsoft rejected that level. Look at that right there. Boom, right to the top of that, value area. Now trying to fail 412. If we could fail this S&P 5409 quarter, then the 39 level here could be a failure point. I would wait to see if it closes in here, which kind of gives us this breakdown of 18,825 as the breakdown point. Let's give this a shot. I think this is a high probability setup. I think it's a really good opportunity to rotate us, at least to even previous day high. It's a nice little push into there to make a decision from that point, which will probably be VWAP at that point, and then we can make that good timing choice. S&Ps needs to get below 5409, which then should flush us down into this area and maybe hopefully catch us up. 83950 I could see as support, so 18,840 could be support. So if it's going to bounce from this, then this could bounce from 18,840. That 50 level, there was a lot of size getting filled, still more size getting filled there again. So definitely interest at that 18,850 level. I don't have the book map thingy up here. There's some size just kind of flashing around. Nothing that's convincing. It's just more like, looks like algos popping in and out. 18,850, 18,840. Let's give this opening range for the S&P. So as long as we hold above that, still bullish. I mentioned early in the write-up, I mentioned earlier yesterday that 18,544 was the bullish bearish line in the sand. What did we do yesterday? We pulled back into 18,544 and we became supported there. We had it held. You can see 18,544. We pulled into it, held there, rotated to 700, and now have kind of played, broke out with 700, pulled back down through it. Now trying to expand out. If we could fail this level, I can get a potential rotation back down to 700 to then make a decision come CPI. Because realistically, like yesterday, no information. Thought we are going to get an inside day. Got an inside day. Pretty good analysis on how that was going to react. Bad timing on the trades, but good analysis on what kind of day it was going to be. Today, I kind of found it similar. I think 7:30. The PPI number came in a little lighter, but we were starting to creep up beforehand. So I think maybe this still does want to rotate. CPI is more important than that PPI number, and I think that we're going to still position ourselves for a better CPI number. So if they want to do that for maybe longs for tomorrow, potentially back down towards 700 would make sense, even with a good PPI print. So with that lack of follow through on that high side pressure, I can see this potentially wanting to give us at least a little bit of a rotation back or a pullback. I did talk about that 18,840 level. You could see how it acted as support. Can you play the breakdown of it? You probably could. You could probably play the break of 40 down through 39. Front run the break of the overnight high. You can see how this market's being wicking around. Right, if this breaks 40 through this little bit of a wedge, then potentially that does give you a good short opportunity, right? Lots of liquidity being grabbed here. We see size kind of popping in and out, but nothing actually legit on the books. A flattening out delta, no aggressive buyers up here at the high, so that does give me the indication. I think 39 will go. I'm going to give it a 39. 38 is where I'm going to play the short. S&P is holding. If S&P can give up 5409, then we do start to push this downside, I think. So we'll wait for that help from the S&Ps to help us downside. 3750. I think we can get this thing to break down. Microsoft's still pulling back. NQ. Let's see what NVIDIA is doing. NVIDIA creeping up a little bit, but nothing crazy. I don't think we have aggressive buyers up here. I think we've got more of a likelihood to rotate back down. So I'm going to take the short through 40 if it does get through this. If that's why I put this down a little bit deeper below that trend line, because I don't want to use this trend line as support, rotate up again, get trapped in, and rotate back out. I want to be in there for the timing of it to be correct. I want to be able to rotate this down through, hopefully find, down into this previous day high, into VWAP would be a nice trail if we could get that failure. The Microsoft's still rolling down. NVIDIA is still trying to creep up. NVIDIA playing with that 112.50 level. 112.50 could give to the high side. That could give us some pressure up there. But if it continues to push down, if Microsoft continues to push down, then the relative strength is here, right, compared to those two. Yeah, now there's getting aggressive sellers. Let's see if we get filled here. Wow, it was close. S&P's is still holding that overnight high. Was that a false breakdown? Good thing I put my stop just a little bit lower. There we go. Let's see if we can get triggered into this for the short to break through this, get down through that overnight high. I am taking one chance at it with a regular contract, regular size. There's the breakdown. Let's see if we can break the overnight high here. I'm going to get to even. If we get to that overnight high, there we go. Okay, so now let's see if we can get through this overnight high. before popping back up and stopping me out. Nope. Back even. I'm going to take the short through the overnight high, though, if we can get that set up. Oh, my goodness. I almost had the wrong size there. That was a good idea there with that setup. I think we can get one more pop up potentially, get up over that and into that 18,850, and then maybe we can get this selling to start. That was a good stop. I think that was a fair stop. I think we can rip up that 850 potentially. You can see we're still holding that S&P. Now Microsoft is catching a little bit of a bottom. I want to see if this aggressive buyer is here. The buyers are stepping in here a little bit. We do have a volume node at 18,840, so we did push through that volume node and pop right back up. So that is a higher volume area of interest. You can see S&Ps. I'm going to get rid of that. I just want to check on all the accounts. $2.20 across all of them there. Cool. Tilt 50-50. S&Ps still pushing higher, and using 5409 as support. That does give us pause on the failed breakdown, right? This does look like it's using that as an expanded area. I want to see that 5409 give up. Microsoft still not giving you a lot. Nvidia still not giving you a lot. I think 840 could give us that breakdown again. Still 850, but maybe we get this wick of this high here and then we continue to back downside. So I'll take a secondary entry through 38, right through this level here. If I can get that to be heavy quicker, right? Get through the overnight high, then start to push down and through. I wanted to get through this overnight high. I'm glad I got to even just before. Obviously, you could see this is the kind of rotation that you would get out of it if it's not a failed breakout, right? If it's a confirmed failed breakout, right? If this is going to be a lower high here, if you're going to start to rotate back down through 50, maybe that more sellers start to get pulled in here. But it could break this high of the day here in the S&Ps and just continue to rally on up. I don't have a S&P overhead level here. Let's go to a 30-minute chart. Do I have anything overhead in the S&Ps? I do. I have 54.34, 54.33 quarters. So that level right there, 54.34 quarters. That's going to be an interesting level to watch. I don't have anything else besides, yeah, that's going to be it for that level for sure. Let's see if S&Ps is going to go straight up. That was a very good out for me. I'm glad I got that out. There are times that this market is going to trend and continue to push up and keep going. So for me to not be involved in that, I'm pretty happy. It is now that 15-minute opening range. So a lot of those people who are playing that 15-minute opening range play that breakout or breakdown of the 15-minute, which would be the high of this white line, 18,888, and the bottom would be the bottom of this channel here is 18,816.50. So those of you who play your 15-minute orb strategies, this is the top end of that 15-minute orb thing. So could play that, or if it rotates all the way down, breaks that could help our idea. So that could be a nice little confluence there. If we could get through 40, get down through this 15 and into the VWAP. Usually all roads lead to VWAP. That's my thought on everything. NVIDIA is relatively strong here, now pushing through and up to the pre-market highs. Still has up to 113.70 for me to be interested, potentially for shorts there. %68 long, 73% long on the S&Ps. If S&Ps can push back down, fail this push up, be that failed breakout, could help us out if we can get through this level here, right? I want to get down through that blue line. That's my trade idea. Could it be a continuation type day? Like I said, with the PPI, the way it was, Microsoft not getting the strength that you would expect on a pullback. It does, like I said, I anticipated a push into that 412 zone here and then a sell. And what do you know? We got to sell right through that. You wick that high, got to sell off right there, kind of tried to come back into it, failed it again. You are not getting like strong buyers in here. I don't think you will until you get down to 409, 410, maybe even down to 410 quarters. But I think Microsoft's going to be a little bit heavier in relative to NVIDIA. You can see NVIDIA pushing up still. I think if NVIDIA gets over 113.70, it's got to make a decision, and that could be where it's going to start to turn. So watch 113.70 on NVIDIA if it gets there. If we don't get there and start to show weakness in both the S&Ps and the NASDAQ, NVIDIA could start to sell and become very weak because this is the pre-market high where it stopped, and it stopped dead at that pre-market high. So we did take that one good trade there, that break even. We kind of want to see this failure come into play. I do think if 850 gives up, you do have some selling that kind of pushes in, right? This 850 right here, this higher volume node here pushes you down probably into right where we're going to start to look for an entry at 840. You do have overhead, a big size at 900. 900 has a 100 lot, 150 lot here at 140 lot. So probably a couple, 100 lot and a 40 lot, stacked here at 900. Nothing above it, nothing below it. I think that you're going to try and magnet, either front run that 900. If it runs away from 900, then watch out. But if it runs to it and pushes through, that could be some buyers stepping in. And NQ does have up to 19,000 to go. All right, let's see what happens with the time and sales at that 900. See if somebody gets in front of it or if they're going to let it fill. $900 got filled. You could see that there. 10, 20, 20, 25, 100, couple hundred contracts there filled at 900. Do you now get a breakout, or is this now going to lead to the failure and push to the downside? That's what a wait and see kind of trade there. And NVIDIA is selling from that 113.40 something level. Microsoft creeping back up towards 412. I don't see anything of note. This could end up being a trend type day where we start to build up, explode through 900, and then just start to creep up all the way. Yesterday, we got that really nice sell-off after a move sort of like this, right? We sort of kind of pushed on up, held this little trend, and then after we broke that trend, right, we snapped down pretty hard, pretty fast, right? It was a little tighter, but you can see very similar. 1, 2, 3, 4. You start to see this type of double top type action wedgie idea. You could get a melt like that kind of happen pretty quick, especially from that 900 level. I wouldn't hate to take a short through this 18,875 on a micro potentially to give it a lot of space to dance around, but this is going to push up 54.34 on the S&Ps. 18,979 I believe was the number that I talked about. So 18,009 up to 19,000. NVIDIA is still kind of struggling with that pre-market high. So that's another indication. Microsoft pushing up to 412. I don't know if it's going to break through and push through high a day, or if we're going to get to 412, fail, and rotate back down. That's kind of the thought process on the Microsoft idea. Did not get any follow through on this, which was, kind of just good trade management for me. I said if it gets to the blue line, I'm going to even. We got to even pretty quick. Stop there. Now we're, 825 to almost 925, almost 100 points up. So we're going to be very cautious. You can see now we're starting to get tightening in the patterns. S&Ps could start to give up. You watch that to give up for the S&Ps. $61. Nvidia trying to sell that pre-market high. Microsoft pulling back again, trying to get back to 411, but catching a slight bit of a bid. If it can get back up over that 412, then this continues probably straight on up. 18,888. Here is that orb, right? I was talking about that's that 15-minute high. People playing that 15-minute opening range breakout. Now, if we can play the failure of that strategy, rotate us back to the bottom end of that strategy, then potentially that kind of plays along with our strategy as well, right? Failed breakouts of key levels, rotating back the other direction, trying to catch at least to VWAP, and then beyond, rotate all the way down to overnight lows and beyond that potentially. But I don't think we do get that far. I think 700 would be a comfortable pullback if it did do that for the CPI print. I don't know if we'll get all the way there. Yesterday I mentioned the 600 level, and we pulled right back and basically sat on that 600 level the rest of the day. So let's see what happens with this. Is this a good idea to get short through and fail this level? If S&Ps can break through and crack this a little bit, can we crack this as well up here? Does that give us a micro trade idea? There's that break of that 1888. That's nice and heavy from there. I like that. I was thinking about taking that right there again, like I said, but it's a little bit away from my overnight high. I want to wait. Probably I want to see, like I said, the overnight high. The opening range is this. I want to fail this overnight high, which is up here, that 18,840. I have the that breakout point that I'm leaving there, and I'm eyeballing that opening range high as the overnight high, right? So we want to see if S&Ps will give up this level. If S&Ps can give up 5409, then we can see if this is going to actually fail and break down, or if we're going to get a break and retest. You can see NVIDIA giving that rising wedge type pattern. Microsoft sold right, front ran 412. So this 18,888 short was a really good short idea right there, risking to high of the day. If you can kind of get that going. You want to break this 70? I want sellers to, be in, induce selling, right? So that's kind of my thought on this. If we can get through 5409, if that buyer gives up, that 5409 buyer on the S&Ps, then we should get a heavy seller in the NASDAQ, right? That's really the thought of it here. Let's see. We got 5 minutes till the hourly close, so we're gonna let the hourly close happen. I mean, we have this order out here. Hopefully, it doesn't get triggered till that hourly close. Give us that 9 o'clock number. There's not really a number coming out. It's just you have all these from 7:30, then 12:15. Fred Bostic speaks. Do not have anything. I go only 2 stars. and better. Core PPI 730, all that 730 numbers. So you can see that 5409 held again. We'll see if the retest here, maybe get people trapped up over 5415 and then rotate us back through 5409, which then can help our cause down here, right? Let's see, 30. 3 minutes. I need this to hold off for 2.5, 3 minutes to get through this low. The more I could get this building, this energy to come into at 9 o'clock kind of dance, and then see if I can get maybe a pop up, and then we could get a failure again, get S&Ps to start rolling through that overnight high, that blue line. If we could get the S&Ps to start rolling through that level, then we can trade that level on the NQ and get ourselves in this trade. But you can see that pop, really nice, good on that. I like the way that's supported there. It's good that we did not get that execution. If we come back, retest it here on the S&Ps, and then we get this to come around 9 o'clock, get that one last manipulation of 900. Is there any more resting orders sitting there? No, there's nothing really heavy there. There's a 50 lot, a 55 at 900. You do have an aggressive buyer coming in here, stepping in. We do have upper band of view up all the way up at 940, so could, in theory, get up to 940 before this does rotate. One minute till that close, and great on us for being patient, understanding what we got going on. Up a big $2.20 on this day here. We broke even on that first idea, breaking short through that opening range. I do think that a heaviness is going to come in at some point here, based on the way PPI and CPI is tomorrow. I think positioning for CPI tomorrow, they'd rather be down closer, probably to the 700s, for them to be long. 5 minute bounce off the 9 EMA. Is that down here? Is that on the trend line? Yeah, that makes sense. All right. It is almost 9. We got 10 seconds left till 9 o'clock. Let's see if we can get some heavy sellers stepping in on the hour. NVIDIA just got above 113.70, and now I think if we do want to sell, this is the area where NVIDIA would like to sell, trapping some longs. But also, it could also be an ignition point where it starts to push on up right up to 115. So watch out for that. But if NVIDIA could, trap some longs and then rotate down, we could see a heaviness in NQ. Microsoft's going to push up towards 412, still not quite making it there. This could just be a slow grind up the whole day. I don't know for sure, right? Nobody knows for sure. But my thought on the kind of another sort of inside day. Yes, we got data today, so it does give reason to be either stepped up or down from yesterday's close. But I don't think it's going to be like a large, expansive move, right? It should kind of continue to push us. Microsoft selling, NVIDIA bidding up at 113.99. Relatively weak, though, in the NQ for NVIDIA breaking a key level. So that's an interesting thing to note as well. We just got through 114, and NQ still hasn't gotten up there. The only thing that I'm watching here is this 5409 level on the S&Ps. It seems like S&Ps is leading us as far as where support is. We did not break down on 5409. We did not break this level here, the overnight high, while we are trying to approach and break it here. Obviously, the strength is showing here, so it's like front running that level. I think maybe if we, like I said, if we can not break through these highs in the S&Ps, if we can start to rotate, if that 5409 buyer gives up, then we can start to see this NQ be like a snappy move to the downside. But like I said, NVIDIA does have up to 115, then 116 for a clean move. NVIDIA moves a lot, but if he fails this 113.70, that could be the top. Russell going straight down. So money flowing out of those small caps. Not getting an aggressive buyer here. So seller, actually an aggressive seller is showing its hand. If S&Ps can break through this blue line, we should probably look to short the NQ as the vehicle to trade it, right? If we can break through this level, get a heavier seller. If this breaks, I don't want to trade it here before the blue line breaks. I'm going to take this short if it does go. This has to give up. A 54.9 has to give up for this to start to sell. I do think that it's a lack of like explosive moves through a key level, right? That 900 of large size got filled there quite a few times. I mean, you could see multiple 10, 20 lot, size bids and offers being filled here. So there's a war going on at 900. As I mentioned, if the 5409 quarter here gives up, that should induce some sellers to start pouring into the S&Ps, which should have the NQ catch up. Microsoft is catching a bid once again. NVIDIA also kind of just lingering around that 114. You see this aggressive seller and buyers trying to step up in the size, but the delta is negative. So we do have a divergence. We have some size here at 21, 57 lot at 21. So maybe we pop 21 and then fail it. Let's see. You can see this wedge pattern forming here. That's what I like to see around a key level. I am not going to get triggered in just below this 88. I think that that's going to be a trap. So I am just a little bit deeper below it. I want to see this confirm first, that 5409 breakdown. That'll give me better timing on this short idea. If it doesn't come through and if it continues to stair step up, then we're not going to get an entry on it, right? We shouldn't get triggered into it if it doesn't. S&P still wants to hold that 54.9. I want to see this give up, right? This is like a nice heavy flush, break, retest, try and rotate down through a key level. If that does give up, then I could say VWAP would likely be a good target, bottom end of the opening range. So let's watch that. Do watch the opening range high as well as support. So if it just comes in, bounces off that, that could be a trap for us. But we're going to try it if we give up this 54.09, right? You can see that's heavy. Trying to give it up, trying to give it up, trying to give it up. Still not giving up. Still a support. Still not giving up. Microsoft holding 411, 412 is right overhead. NVIDIA creeping back down towards 113.70. Now looking to see if it's going to crack it or use it as support right here, right now for me. So we're going to get triggered in if it does go short and see where it takes us. I want to get down to VWAP. That would be ideal, obviously, if it could trigger me and kind of quickly get down to 18,850. I would like to get to break even and then never have it come back. That would be nice. There it is, just broke through it, so we should get this short triggered probably here on the NQ. If it's going to hold up relatively strong, then potentially not. But I am going to take it if it does break down through this 79 level. I like that 79 level as the area of interest. You can see it held there again. It trapped. I think you can see, right, I talked about that opening range high acting as support for the S&Ps. If that could help us be supportive here. NVIDIA held 113.70, so still showing strength to the upside. I do think 115 could get tagged. I didn't want to fall for that trap there on this being a trap. It needs to give up and hold and flush and stay heavy. It can't just do what it just did. It has to close down here below that 5409 before the NQ is going to be like, okay, we're selling now, right? Like you don't want to see that whippy action right there. That's going to be a liquidity grab. I think that 920, 921, there is, orders there still. So we could see that get hit. Russell still downside. NVIDIA still upside. You can see this is just not acting super strong though, right? Like you would anticipate anything that you would anticipate to break out, be strong, have a lot of strong buyers, you would anticipate to pop over a key level with super high volume, right? This high volume node here at 900, you would expect it to pop over that and continue up and never really come back to it. You're starting to see an aggressive buyer step in here though, so watch out to see if it starts to expand or if it's going to fail down a little bit. I still think that 921 wants to fill. Yeah, it's going to break nice for sure if it does break. I do want this to get me in if we can get through 5409 again. I think NVIDIA does give up the 114 and then it starts to fail 113.70. We should get heavy and heavy quickly. This is exactly kind of what we were looking for yesterday. That wedging pattern. I don't see S&P's giving it up though at the moment. It's kind of hanging out. I like Zuka-san's thought here, 100%. Microsoft, once again, rejecting that level. Does Microsoft break above 412 and push high of day, or does it break through this bottom end and start to really get us heavy? If NVIDIA can also start to fail 114, break down through this 113.70 like I talked about, that can really induce some heavy sellers that start to really roll this market over and back towards the 700 mark, back towards VWAP, where we can definitely get a bit of interest, right? Still nothing crazy, right? We're just tightening up. It should pick a direction sort of soon with this tight of a wedge, this tight of a pattern, build up of orders, a flush of key levels should give you an induction of sellers like you're seeing in the S&Ps. So now we just broke it again, the S&Ps. I'm going to trigger in probably right here. If it does give it up, then I'm going to be in. Good thing I didn't get triggered because I would have been stopped probably. I do have my order in at a good spot. So if it does trigger me in, I'm going to get even around that 70 mark and then see if we can get through and down to through 50. But S&P is still holding that 5409. That's really, really supportive. Once again. Was that a trap? Right back to 900. The delta gets heavy. Aggressive sellers keep stepping in at this level. So if we get that, if that gives up, I think we can get it to go. Just kind of seems clean, right? It seems like it should be a nice clean breakdown, and it should snap to 60 or 70 pretty fast if it does break. Once again, trying to hold that 5409. The buyer's trying to give it up. And we're triggered in short. We want to see if this gets heavy fast. Nope. This has to go now, dude. Damn you, buddy. Very unfortunate there for that to not break and go that quickly. Looks like it wants to get back up over 9. think my setup's still valid here. Although that did seem a little manipulative. I want this S&Ps to give up that opening range. S&P, I mean, Microsoft's still selling. Nvidia kind of dancing around with 114. I want to give myself the opportunity to actually catch this if it does go. So once again, just another trap for me. There's the squeeze push up higher now. Right to that 21 level like I was talking about. Nice aggressive buyer. Was that 21? Was the sweep at 21 the trap, or is this now going to be the heaviness that we wanted to see? That 5409 still holding strong here, looks like. Microsoft's still heavy. Nvidia wants to sell from there too. I'm going to see if this can finally get us back down through this level and give a heavy sell through the high. Should give it to us here. It's very trappy. Leaving it, leaving it, leaving it, leaving it. If Microsoft gets down to 409.86, then the bounce could come in. Nvidia's still holding up over that 114. I think it gives up 114 and starts to sell. Should start to see this get heavier. This is another time trying to get through it. I'm going to take another shot at it. 2 times the charm. If not, then we're going to be switching over to the micros indefinitely. Probably. This is a super strong level here. Like I said, I think if it does fail, it should fail it fast and hard. We're short again. See if it holds. And it's going to pop off here again. Could have just bought that bottom again. All right, so we're stopped out for 2 losers there. We got, let's see what we got left. Not much. So let's go over to those micros. Trade that micro. If we're going to take the breakdown, we're going to take it with half size if it does eventually break. I am in a wonderful streak of losers, so hopefully you guys are doing a little bit better than I. There's the micros. Switching over to here. This is going to finally give up or not. There it goes. Finally, it gives up. Uh-oh. I'm not on the right chart. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, dumb move. Oh, man. Stupid move. My bad, everybody. I clicked the market sell on, I thought it was a micro, and I had it on NQ. So don't do dumb shit right then and there. I did it. Did the dumb shit, and now I'm no longer, I got 90 bucks left on this, down 500 again on the day. And now it's going to sell because this is where we're at in my timing. So yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, the XFAs have been now messed with. I did not do a good job of mitigating those losers. And then I did a stupid order here. I clicked it and I wanted to go close and I didn't know where it was, and it was open on a different chart. And that was just my fault for not. So I expect the dome to switch over, or not the dome, the order book. It doesn't switch. You have to actually switch it to the chart that you're on. So make sure you note that for yourself. Just make sure you note that for sure. All right, well, back to the drawing board. We go into combines. I do have $100 left in that account, or both of those accounts, but that's going to be just Dugats. Copy trading, clear those, save the changes. We're going to go to the combine, see if we can get ourselves. Oh, okay, that's personal daily loss limit on. That's not the combine, that's the express funded. Combine here. We do have. We can play with this combine, so we can go back to NQ for the combine. This combine and that combine both have some money left in it. The delta didn't follow the short. Yeah, no, it did not. You're right. So you can see that for sure, Charlie. Good job on noticing that. Just a fucking. I hate when I do things like that, but you noticed it. You could see it happen. You can see S&P is right on that VWAP, or close to it, getting closer to it, and NQ a bit further off from it. I think we could still get this short to come in here. But I'm not going to mess around with it too much. I'm going to wait for this 18,850, 18,840 level to kind of break down. Microsoft pushing down lower. Oh, man, I hate doing dumb shit. So that was doing dumb shit as I expected to kind of. You got to pay attention when things happen. I do not like bouncing screen to screen. You can see now the aggressive delta is starting to step up a little bit. Got to get back into the groove. Timing, levels. Today I figured get myself involved in the other levels. Did not work. So we are once again back to the drawing board. Got to build up the funding once again some more, and then work on that next payment. This is what happens when you start to catch on a losing streak on one of these funded accounts. Not that I was doing anything really bad. I was executing my plan. And yeah, I think so too. This one here. I can't believe I hit that on a fucking full mini position. Stupid. Alrighty. Like I said, I'm going to probably hop off stream probably around 10:15-ish. The kids have school tomorrow, so I want to spend some time more with them today for the day. Just another crap day for me of sideways chop. Yeah, you have to make sure that your order book displays the same as the chart that you're on. I did not make sure of that, and that's my fault, right? I got to know, and I can't blame anybody but myself for not paying attention. Kind of clicked in too quickly before recognizing what I had going on. I think we can get this to sell here. This is the combines. The combine, we're going to be aggressive on it. See if we can get this thing to hold down below 900. NVIDIA bounced from 113 for a second there. View up starting to curl down in the NQ, potentially looking to pull us lower with the volume, but technically speaking, this is not tradable. This is trash, 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 trash panda day. There we go. So this is just not tradable. Yeah, 100%. Don't chop yourself up here if you don't have anything else. For me, like I said, unfortunately, got myself into a bit of trouble with the XFAs, and now we are just $100 away from no longer having those. Don't do dumb shit with your micros and thinking that you're on micros and you're on full minis and you burn it there. Overall, like I said, kind of the CPI, the PPI number, it's still creating lower price action, slower. I'm in a pretty good funk of the last 2 weeks. So if you were watching the last week and a half, I'm the worst trader you have ever seen. If not, if you have been watching, you understand that this kind of happens time to time. This is trash, 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 trash. If we go over to our leader account here, our total profits after, we took a payout. So this payout kind of started the selling in my account balance. So once I took the payout, I have just kind of run into a string of losers along the way, and you can see the equity curve pulling right back down into it. Basically, all of the month of July we were green, and all of the month of August we have been red. We had a really good opportunity to make a lot of money on the 6th. We ended up only coming out with a small winner, which was fine because we were still, stepping up to the right. Once we got into loser, I should never have this many straight personal max loss limit days. There should not be this many $500 losing days in a row. Something is a little bit broken in the system, and I need to readjust and come back and figure it out what it is. I don't want to be the one, showing you poor habits. I haven't really done anything really stupid aside from that last trade there. That last trade should not have been a full mini. It should have been a micro, and I did not pay attention to what I had going on with that thing. Thanks, AK. I appreciate it. You just go into streaks here in this game for me personally. Like I said, all of July, we did a good job of managing risk. Once last week happened, that stupid fucking bullshit on the 5th, I actually did a good job of just avoiding trading it. Didn't take anything that day. We could have been a little bit bigger on the 6th, kind of ran into some good trades, but you could see we drew down and then we kind of came out of it. And I said, once I went red to green on that day, it was very choppy. And you could see probably with these ones too, A+ setup on that day kind of got wicked out and it rotated down. Same thing here. My timing was off. This one we never got anything until all the way at 12:30. Normally I'm not trading around 12:30, so I made myself get back to even on a nice clean catch, and then we kind of we ended the day up 160. And then these two just haven't. The past 2 days have just been crap for me, right? Understanding the levels, the dynamics of the price action, the confluences. This is just shitty to trappy behavior here on the market. Should have been more patient as far as allowing this to pull back even further and giving me my initial idea of shorting that 18,850 and below that, right? We took that first one, broke even on it. Then now we just took two losers here, and then obviously took the third loss. Sorry. I have no voice. Took that third on accident with the full mini, even though the micro would have got stopped anyway and pulled us out. So, realistically, the mistake didn't really make too much of a difference because the micro probably would have got us stopped. Although I would have had a little bit tighter on the risk. I want to clean this up. Very gross movement, and it doesn't help to keep trading it. But we're here, and we're, oh yeah, absolutely. That Russell, baby, creeping back up. Small caps always, small caps crap. Failure of 900 here. Could give you now a breakdown. Let's see if it does. Or if it's going to be more sideways chop. It's 930. Frustrating week. So frustrating. The last week has been annoying. You loon. No. Dikembe Mutombo. I like how you had to search Dikembe Mutombo and then they had to put his name on there. As if the viewer did not understand that is what that is. It has to say it on the meme. Come on now. Alrighty. Just a really crappy string of a week and a half. Turning my turnaround into another turnaround. That's how trading goes, though. Just got to manage it and continue on and keep on keeping on. So we're going to work on building up this tomorrow. Our funded accounts are locked out for the day. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a puke job. Let's see if it rotates it down again or if it's going to stop out. I don't like how these... So, like I said, TopStepX, I like the platform for a lot of reasons. They have many adjustments to be made and that they will start. You can see NVIDIA now breaking down 113.70. So finally giving you the true breakdown there. This time through, do we have the confidence to see if it'll break or if it's going to do the same thing once again and rotate us back out, stop people out above 900? Wait and see. This is a shit trend line that I drew here. Strong bearish candle there to the downside. Heavy delta pushing down, aggressive sellers finally breaking through. I'm going to guarantee that this move now will go. If it does go now, then you potentially finally get the move that we've been anticipating this entire time and we have no more bullets in the gun left to take. So that would be good. It does look like a nice little breakdown. Microsoft is approaching 409.86 though. So with Microsoft approaching this level here between 409 and 410, the 409.50 and 410, that could be a bounce area for Microsoft. But if it does flush that 409.86-ish level, then potentially a rotation down to 409.50 comes kind of quickly. Then we can rotate this. NVIDIA needs to keep below 113.70 to keep this bearish momentum going. So I'm going to go ahead and let this thing close below 70. and see if it'll continue to bounce or break. Bounce or break. S&P's is still trying to hold that opening range, and NQ is well away from the opening range high. Microsoft right at that 410 mark, looking like it wants to bust down 410. Caught a little bit of a bounce, and now breaking back down again. Does this breakdown go here and now? Is this the timing? Looks like it. There it is. There's the break. See how low we could get with this. If we can get down into that VWAP area, that would be what I was trying to do this entire time. What could I have done better to get timing on this correctly so I don't max draw down myself to my personal loss limit? Is probably wait for NVIDIA to crack, I guess, a little bit more. But even then, it's still very trappy today. If you have not executed today, I would be very cautious on your executions. I would not just want to execute anywhere. Wait for some confirmations. Look at Microsoft bouncing right off that 409.86, 410 area. If it does use this as a launch pad again, watch out for 412 to come back into play. So Microsoft bounce play. NVIDIA rotating, but not quite trying to get over 113.70. Microsoft and NVIDIA have kind of been acting slightly opposite, but not crazy diverged. S&P's bounced off VWAP, and Q not quite there. Damn, that was gross price action up there to get me involved in. Ugh. Let's see. What does gold look like? Since Charles asked for that yesterday. Rotating back down. Kind of anticipates some buyers in the equities then. So with the gold creeping down into some support level here, if it doesn't bounce, if it starts to rotate into 2,500 even, then gold could, equities could continue to rise. NVIDIA bounced. Microsoft bounced. NVIDIA bounced. Trapped the shorts there. This is gross price action for you. I think until CPI tomorrow, you're not going to get clean action, to be honest. So let's see what goes down. It is very rare that I take 2 straight losers in a day without even getting to even on some of these moves with the bottom tick and then rotating out. Days like this is what kind of gets me into that. And it's been like 4 straight days there. So that's unfortunate. Well, at least the top step of people agree. It's a tricky trade. Just kind of watching the equities and all that, even then, like I said, this could have trapped me into that chart. Like this is a very aggressive seller right through a key level, pushing down through and into a trend line crack. S&P's holding below overnight highs. We still haven't quite got to the level that I wanted to get to. I know I have this overnight high there, but that was just basically up until 820. And then we popped it and tried to break back down. We pushed into here. This is the normal A plus right there. That was gorgeous. We took that short through that low, stopped at even because price turned on a dime and rotated back out. So relatively strong, although choppy, right? You can see since about 6 a.m. this morning, we ran into that previous day high and then popped it on the PPI number. And now since PPI, we've been just kind of stair-stepping up. My anticipation was more of an inside type of day with the PPI. Again, CPI is the more important of the two numbers, although this is something that the Fed will look at for that rate cut. Pretty much all but guaranteeing a September cut. And we'll just kind of go from there. Let's see what happens with it. Personally, just like I said, I'm probably going to hop off here at 10 unless people want to stick around, talk to me, let me know what you want to do. But otherwise, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of the day. Try not to let this losing streak continue into other things. Maybe I'll take the kids to the pool, something that they want to do the last day before school starts. This is gross price action. NVIDIA is, ran right through 113.70 and popped right back up again to up over 114. Overall, Microsoft, that beautiful bounce. If you were trading Microsoft and talking about that here, Microsoft bounced nicely. Like I told you, if it gets into that support zone between 410, 410.15, 410.20 down to 409.86, that 409.86, perfect level, pretty much. I mean, you front run it by 10 pennies here, and you got a nice little bounce play coming in from that pre-market support is really that key for that area, right? So rotate through here. If it does continue straight up 412, if you break through 412, that high of the day is in jeopardy. I do think range bound type day seems still likely, although it's going to wait all the way till later and screw with me and decide to do what I think it was going to do the whole time after I'm insolvent. So that's just kind of the way this trading thing goes. Up, down, sideways. The best thing you could do is just never give up on it. Continue to trade, continue to work your plans, continue to make adjustments. I made the adjustment today and it didn't help as far as the levels are concerned, right? Yesterday I was talking about my patience was pretty much spot on. I really wanted to take the short here. We never made it to my level. You can see how clean that move was to the downside. I called out this long here. I said I should have taken that on the other trade. Never took it because it never made it to my level. Once again, then this one here, I took it on a combine only because I was insolvent at that point because I waited for the high to break, failed breakdown, and then it trapped me too many times before giving you that actual push and that breakdown. So this is what you want to see, these kind of accumulations. You want to see price get into this kind of mess, but then break out of it, right? That's how you get these types of moves that you want to see. But right now, you got none of that. It's just sitting sideways, choppy, crappy action. Although when it does this, it's kind of time correcting into a support level where it potentially can continue straight on up. Yeah, unfortunately, I did not hold off. Yeah, this is crappy price action. It's not conducive to good trades. The PPI information really just didn't do anything for us except for push us up into a level that looked very juicy for a short, and then decided to not do anything. So we are at the 18,009 level, sort of in between major structure levels. Probably could have waited till we either get back up to 979 or But that 900, that 897, I mean, really was the sell point back in, the 1st of August. NVIDIA trying to break down from 114 again. Alrighty. Boring day here on the charts. Not really great, not conducive. See what happens when it gets, a few more minutes in. I am going to cut off around 10, 15. If you got anything that you want to see or talk about, let me know. Normally, my analysis is pretty good. My executions have been shit this last week or so. But other than that, the analysis has been right there. We've been talking about some really good stuff, getting involved in breaking things down. I just haven't been able to. I didn't build up big enough buffer to withstand the period that we have come into, right? So it just is what it is. S&P is still holding the 5409, but still kind of just dancing around in this choppy area. NVIDIA still kind of lingering around the 114, tried to just break above 114.20, and it's just dancing around with that. If NVIDIA does want to push up, I did mention that 115 probably is a good area for NVIDIA to head to. If NVIDIA does not get to 115, or if it gets there and starts to roll over, then that 113.70 still is the support level. 115.97 for NVIDIA is my next upside major area where I would anticipate more reaction to come from. So watching NVIDIA, watching Microsoft for that Microsoft to rotate all the way up to 412. Still, I really like that. This is a really good bounce off of here. You can see that bounce right there. We talked about how that was going to be a real big decision point. If that broke down, you could get down into that 409 even, but potentially the bounce comes from 410. And what do you know? Right off of that 410, you get that bounce. I expect up to 412. If it doesn't get to 412, you get this sideways action all day. Who knows what happens. NVIDIA, you got that push up into 113.70. You held it, you broke down, and you trapped some shorts, and then now you're rotating right back up over 114. See if you get back over high of the day of 114.61, which could rotate you up to 115 and then 116-ish. So just note those things, and then just don't do dumb shit like me. That's all there is to it. The struggle continues on these payout drawdown periods. Something about when I hit the payout period, I take my payout, I wait for them to clear the funds from the account, I do all the right things, I get patient, I continue to execute on my strategy. And it's like every time I take a payout is when the market changes and we start to see a little bit of tweaking going on in the strategy. So it's not like I said, I mentioned over here on the performance area. So I'll kind of go over it for you, go over it for me. My win-loss is 1-to-1. I mean, realistically, my winners are pretty big when they actually come. I've normally in that 75% win percentage, but right now it's crept down to 56 because it's been mainly straight losers. Profit factor was up over 2 and change, so we were doing quite well. The last few days have just kind of been funky, right? That's all. That's the only way I could explain it. It's been a little funky in the way we've been executing, right? We had plenty of opportunity within here to make money. The levels worked, but then the timing was just slightly changed. There was a little bit of difference in the timing, and that really got me thrown, apparently, for 2 straight losers right there, 2 straight losers right there, bang, bang. These are just not conducive to me. I normally don't take straight losers. Even like in the journal, I stuck to my plan. I didn't take executions that were front-running levels. I didn't switch to micros. I did switch to micros, and I executed on the order execution bar. So I made mistakes. Mistakes were made. I'll add that in the journal. What's going on? That's not right. Not. All it takes is execute one good trade, one good trade, one good trade. And that's what I've been doing. I've been doing my best to try and just execute the trades one good trade at a time. Unfortunately, like I mentioned, just haven't been able to catch a break on what I've been doing, right? I've just kind of been getting myself wicked out. Then we'd rotate down. Expanding stops could be an option. Completely switching to micros for the time being and getting much wider on the stops, or going with a bigger risk and less trades per day. You can see now we're starting to get buyers to step in. Good bit of buying, right? Failed breakdown, rotate back up. I'm going to stay on for about 10 more minutes, cut out today. Like I said, we got the first day of schools tomorrow. I'll see if I get on stream tomorrow. I'll let you know if I'm going to get on or not. I'm doing an overnight tonight, working overnight, and then I'm bringing my son to school in the morning. So see kind of how the timing works out with getting on the stream, at least for a little bit. Got to build the buffer back in the combine. I mean, the XFAs here. We're down to our last $90 and $2 on this one. So that one's done. It's just the name of the game. Do you have some? I'm gonna get out in 10 minutes. You could just pour it in there. I'll come in there in a minute. Overall, just once again, tough day. Oh, gross. NVIDIA looked like it wanted to break above 114.60. Is rotating back down now. All right, we got about 9 minutes left. Like I said, pretty just disappointing last week, to be honest. We were on a nice little streak. Not even that I was away from my discipline. Everything was disciplined. Trading levels, trying to not adjust too much and then making slight adjustments here and there, still to no avail. Just an unfortunate week for me. That's all. Got to get back on the grind, get myself back funded, more funding. Should never really risk not having any funding personally. NVIDIA kind of pulling back down to that 114.50. Looks like it wants to crack back above it. Well, while we're in this lower time frame here of just kind of doing not much, don't be afraid. Hit that link in the alerts in the chat. It's the Day Trading Coffee Co. The Don't Do Dumb Shit mug like I did today, the clicking of the wrong button. We have coffee for everybody, 10 different roasts, always roasted on demand. My education tab there gives you all the information that I try and post here. All the weekly analyses are in here. I try to break down different grind sizes. I break down different roasts. Any sort of partnerships that we start to develop, I do post in the education. Everything in there is free. There's not going to be any paid education here. It's just going to be all, just good content. Everything here, weekly analysis is. Like I said, we have the shop. We have 10 different roasts here. We serve K-Cups. We do bulk discounts on K-Cups. So if you do want bulk K-Cups, anything over just one single box, we do breaks at 54 cups. So we have an 18-pack and a 12-pack. If you do want to do multiple 18-packs, we do cost breaks at different prices. So just hit us up, let us know, and we'll send you that breakdown list. 10 different roasts, all different flavors, everything that you could want from the decaf all the way up to espresso, right? Hella sweet gear, as AK would say. Hella sweet gear. Thank you, good sir. I always appreciate the support. We got hats, we got shirts, we got hoodies. I'm rocking one of the hoodies. We got travel mugs, vacuum insulated bottles, kids sweatshirts, stickers, all that fun stuff. Get on over there, check it out. While you're not trading, the adult section is, that's the hidden section there. You don't want to know about that section. I'll post it in here. Shop, education, content, all that fun stuff. If you want to do anything with us, if you want to partner up, let me know. We can always work something out where the more the merrier. Promotion is a good time. If you want to follow us on Instagram at Day Trading Coffee Co. at Policing Pips, I do post a lot of things on there as well. We do have a partnership with Lightspeed, so if you are trading with AK over there and you want to get a Lightspeed brokerage, one of the top brokers in all the land, you click on the link here. It'll take you over to the Lightspeed page, and if you use code COFFEE, you get all these sweet breaks in discount. You'll be allowed to use $5,000 in equity as opposed to $10K as your opening balance. And then obviously great fees. When I was trading on the prop desk for T3, I did use Lightspeed and I love it. I think it's a great platform, great locates, everything you can need as far as a brokerage is concerned. I do think that you guys would benefit greatly if you wanted to trade over there. And then as always, if you go and watch AK and you short that small cap crap, then you're going to be able to do so with Lightspeed. Grab your locates, get some great equities, commission rates, and it's a very smooth platform. You might want to chart elsewhere. That's my only other thought process on it, is that it's not a charting platform, right? It's a professional execution platform. You're going to get great level 2 data. You're going to get great locates on your shorts. Your executions are going to be top notch. Your commission rates are going to be top notch. Not that I'm not going to, but it's not built for trading view charts and stuff like that. So if you want to chart up, do well that stuff, do it on Thinkorswim, do it on Trader, whatever you call it, Trading View. Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Free trading software. So, like I said, we do have partnerships over there. Click over into that partnerships tab. You'll find all of our stream information, Lightspeed, Tradecaster, TopStep, Amazon, all those fun things. But if you really want to get coffee for yourself, for your family, your friends, anybody who you think is interested in trading, hasn't had a coffee or loves coffee and likes the trading theme, click into here. Like I said, we have light roast, we have dark roast, medium. We have many different origins from Guatemala, Ethiopia, All the normal Colombians, everything that you could want, we got it. So reach out if you have any questions. Let me know. Use code Policing Pips. It will get you 15% off all of your orders. So that's good too. Policing Pips gets you 15% off. And if you're so inclined and you want to sign up for a Tradecaster membership, use my code Policing Pips. Apparently, my link doesn't actually get you to tracking for me. So, Deck advised you, if you are going to do anything, do it and enter my code at Policing Pips, not at, just Policing Pips, and it'll get you the 10% off any Tradecaster membership. And if you want to get into the boot camp late, I think you could still get in. Seats are filled up. I think if you get in, at least if you do get in now, if you can't get into the lives, which I think you should be able to, you'll get the recordings and all that, and it'll be in the video lobby. So you'll have access to it as a 6-month member or better. So just get over there, check out the pricing, use code Policing Pips for 10% off any membership that you can get in Tradecaster. At some point, we'll have to go paid on here. Until then, you can always access me for free. I am currently trading. Oh, okay, there's an update to this. I don't know what's going to update, but update it up. As always, we're trading futures in here. I do give a lot of equities levels, mostly Mag 7 names. I am giving out as best of analysis as I can in every different chart that people ask for, gold, oil, whatever you want to see as far as futures are concerned. I will be teaching my portion of the boot camp the 26th and 27th of this month. So if you want to learn everything that I know from the beginning to the end, don't be afraid to join in and see the fun. I think AK is next week. AK may be next week with his. So I would get in when that guy has everything to know about this game through the years of his expertise. But it's about 10 o'clock here. Kids are crying in the other room. If anybody's got anything, questions, comments, concerns, coffee questions, trading questions, futures, stocks, options, light speed, boot camp questions, let me know now. And then otherwise, I will probably cut out and enjoy the day with the kids, since I can't find myself a good execution point from this point forward. And since we just had some choppy action here that kind of got us into some trouble there and drew us down to our loss limit for the day, we will work it out. Like I mentioned, tomorrow could be a day where I am not on, but I will note it early enough where you can find yourself into another great area, either over in Caesar's room or whatever you want to do. Get over to AK's room or somebody else and check out the fun. I do have to bring, I'm doing an overtime tonight, and then I'm doing bringing my son to school, first day of school tomorrow. So it's going to be a good day to kind of be off the charts, refresh my brain a bit too, since I'm, in this just chop session. CPI tomorrow should bring out some good trading. So potentially maybe be able to get some good opportunities tomorrow. If you're on, make sure you kind of stick to your plan. Don't do dumb shit. Don't just go out there hammering buttons on the CPI number. Allow you the best opportunity you possibly can to kind of build yourself back up. If you are drawn down, if you're going through the struggles like I am, it is just temporary. If you can stick to it, it will get better, and you can always make it work. Like I said, we took a payout in this account, which always tends to draw me down and get me into like drawdown phase every time I take a payout out of it. So let's make an adjustment on that. Otherwise, nobody's got anything. No questions, comments, concerns, nothing. I saw Globe Trade stocks make a quick blurb and then disappear. Otherwise, I think that's going to be that for today. I appreciate everybody coming by. As I mentioned, just kind of a choppy, crappy day here with the PPI number. A slow grind to the high side, really not conducive for what I like to trade. You could maybe get some opportunities along the rest of the day, but for me, like I said, I'm going to get off early and allow for some more family time and kind of reset the mind, maybe we get back into better trading conditions come next week and beyond, and then we can hopefully have a couple more payouts or at least one more, this month. If I can build that combine, that XFA back from the grave, it's just part of the game with these. When you have that little bit of drawdown, you're trying to make money. I got to start leveraging these accounts a little bit more. And you're seeing this all live, right? This is not me sugarcoating nothing. This is how it really is. This is how I do it. If it happens, it happens. If not, right, so be it. We're just out here trying to put our best foot forward every single day and provide you good value, right? If I make money, it doesn't matter to you. I need you to make money on your own terms and be able to, understand your levels, understand what you want to do while you're trading. So until probably, I'll probably stop by tomorrow after, just for the open, and then get off early and go to sleep because I will be working. I'll be up from 7:30 this morning, 7 o'clock this morning, all the way till 8 tomorrow morning. So nice little 24 hours, no sleep. Probably not the best for trading. So I will be back. If I'm not back tomorrow, I'll be back Thursday. Be smart, trade well the rest of the day. I will talk to you all later. Thank you, AK, for always stopping in and giving me the confidence boosts. It's always helpful, and he's always out there looking to help everybody. So if you do need any sort of assistance and you have any questions about the equities markets or anything like that, go over to AK's room. He's always helpful. Like I said, I'll be back. I'll talk to you guys later. Until then, peace out.